Hello and welcome to a new episode that we are creating our own crypto wallet. In this episode, we are going to talk about the token that we have created. We already have created a token inside BSC testnet. We just need to do something in our backend so our wallet application support that token. And since we created that, we have private key to the contract address, so we own the token. Now, let's see how we are going to do it. As you see inside the screen, I have already implemented in both front-end and backend, and you see that I have a lot of that token already, and I send 1, 2, 3 to someone just now actually. So let's see what we needed to change inside our backend to be able to support our own token. First of all, inside Web3, as you remember, we have this line before, but it was just a dummy address. But now we change it to the contract address. And inside our Moralis.ts is the file that we are retrieving the transactions from the blockchain via Moralis API. We had to add another condition before parsing the response. And the condition is item.input.length less than 178. And why we are doing this? Let me show you inside CloudWatch. As you see here, since we have created the contract, we have a transaction that input value is really long. This is the transaction that creates the contract inside the blockchain. So actually we don't care about this transaction. We don't want to show it inside our wallet. Maybe later, but for now we don't want to show anything about this transaction inside our wallet. And because this is a different kind of transaction, and for example, to address is null, and we need to parse this when we receive the value. If it's not, we throw an error. So before we receive something like this, we need to filter out the stuff that we don't need to. So that's why I added this condition here. There is another small change here that I want you to see, because before this we were working in a deployment environment and we check all the wallets that we had. We created the transactions, so it was only our own tokens. So we didn't have a case for handling the other transactions, because maybe someone have our wallet, but he has some other transaction inside it for other coins or tokens. So that's why I have added this filter that if a transaction is not recognized by us, it means it's not BNB, it's not BUSD, and it's not PixU, then we just remove it. And here is the function that do the condition, and at the end we filter the items that are undefined. So this is everything we need to do inside our backend. Let's move to frontend. As you see here inside my frontend, I have created a little better UX for our wallet. For example, we have this. This is a pull to refresh functionality that you see in most of these kind of apps. And I wanted to have it in our app also. So for example, let's see how it works. For example, if I click on this and I want to send some money, let's paste the address of a wallet. Yes. I'm sending to this one, allow paste, and I am sending around 5 tokens to him. So I click on send, and as you remember, we are still receiving OTP here because we didn't remove it for easier deployment. So we copy it and no, let's type it 985921, and then we click on confirm. Let's see. Let's give it some time, and after that we want to try to pull, and here the transactions should. As you see here, now we have 2 transactions here, and this number also changed. So these are the main things that we did here. We add some spinners. So let's see, and I explain to you how I implement this. The main changes are inside index.tsx. As you see here, I have created a variable called refreshing and set refreshing. And here inside our main container, instead of a normal view, now we are using a scroll view, and a scroll view have a properties called refresh control that we can pass a refresh control to it. And on refresh, we have a function here that I have created that we try to call the valid data and transaction data again, and they will update our state. And I use callback here for fetching purposes, and I will record a video about why we are using use callback here, and I will explain it exactly how it works. But for now we are just using use callback to, but for now you just need to know that we are using use callback for improving the performance in our application. At the end, I have changed some UIs and I made the code more readable. For example, as you remember before, this part of render balance was inside our main render, but now I extracted to another function for better readability. As you see here, we have a lot of set BNB balance, set BUSD balance, set PXU balance, and set wallet ID. I understand that we can do all of this in one state update, but the thing is, because I am recording the videos one by one for you and each have a backend part and front end part, I wanted to go step by step. Later, maybe I can create a video and combine all of this together for you to see how it works, but for now, that's how we are going to use it. And at the end, inside our send page, if you remember before this, when we paste something long, it didn't go to the second line, but now I have changed some properties here, multi-line and number of lines, so it will grow. Because before this, if you remember, when we tried to paste the wallet ID, it wasn't looking very good. It comes out of the screen sometimes. So this was everything you needed to know. Now actually our wallet is ready to go to production. There are a lot of improvements that we can do in the backend side in terms of caching, and also in terms of performance. We can do some improvement inside front end, but for now it's good enough. Okay, our wallet project finishes here. As you see, we have been able to create authentication, our own token, transfer tokens inside BSC testnet. If you want to deploy it to production, you just need to change your RPC to BSC mainnet or even Ethereum if you want to do Ethereum development. And that's it. If you have any questions, comment, I will be happy to hear them and answer them inside the comments. Thank you very much. See you in the next videos.